After days of just rain, rain, and more rain, we finally get a day to dry out a bit. But there is a lot of damage and a lot of cleanup still ahead.
Really sad to see us kind of in that same situation again, rebuilding.
A tornado tore up one family's home in Morgan County, and this family is no stranger to Mother Nature's power. And a church is now cleaning up after rainwaters flooded their property. We are coming to the end of a very, very wet week. In total, Denver got 4.4 inches of rain this week. Thursday was the wettest day we've had since 2013. We've got more rain this week than Seattle got in the entire last month. And we're getting a break now to start drying out, but then over the next week, you can expect more isolated showers and storms. We'll check in with Lauren in just a few minutes. State Health Department says stormwater caused flooding at Suncor this week. The state says Suncor notified them about stormwater going into the Burlington ditch on property that belongs to Metro Water Recovery. Suncor took some samples of the water in that ditch and found low concentrations of benzene, low enough though it was still below their allowable limits. The state says there is not a risk to public health or to the drinking water, but they're going to do some more testing on that water still. A church in Cherry Hills Village is working to clean up flooding damage this weekend. The water came in so fast, they had to use sandbags to slow it down. 9 News reporter Kelly Rinke talked to the pastor this afternoon.
Yeah, hey, Jenny. Unfortunately, those sandbags couldn't stop the water. A few inches seeped into the bottom floor of the building, which means the whole floor needs to be ripped out. That's how Pastor Chip Anderson spent his afternoon today, pulling back the carpet. It's the first time he's been able to go inside this part of the church because the water finally receded. Most of it's gone now, but this is video he took on the property yesterday. Water was at least a foot high near the building, even deeper in other parts of that property. The field has now turned into a pond for the neighborhood ducks.
Didn't have any idea that it was going to be this severe. I knew in the back of my head it was a possibility, but it's one of those like, yeah.
Unfortunately, he thinks repairs will cost around 10 grand. Pastor Anderson says areas impacted were the classrooms for the little kiddos. They'll still be able to hold service tomorrow on Mother's Day.
Well, that's good at least, even though 10 grand's not nothing.
No, but he has some good spirits about it.
All right, thank you, Kelly. Castlewood Canyon State Park near Castle Rock closed several trails this week. You are not looking at a river here. This is supposed to be a trail. The park says many trails are underwater and you just can't get past them. CPW also shared some photos from the Cherry Creek Reservoir. Flooding damaged roads there, well, basically just washed a road away. The east and the west boat ramps are also closed today. These storms brought flooding, hail, even a tornado. Jamie Weber's grandparents' home was hit by the twister in the brush area of Morgan County on Wednesday, ripping off the roof and destroying a lot of their property. 9 News reporter Courtney Yoon introduces us to the family who is just grateful that everyone's okay.
It was really hard to see it like that. Yeah.
Driving to Brush east of Fort Morgan to see her grandparents has never looked like this.
So the top bedroom, their master bedroom, was completely gone.
Jamie Weber and the rest of her family are just glad their 86-year-old grandparents were physically unharmed when a tornado hit their home on Wednesday.
My grandparents were sitting down for dinner. Grandma had just made a bowl of tomato soup.
That's when Jamie says her grandparents saw dust flying around outside and the sirens went off. It was time to head down to the basement.
They could hear glass and stuff breaking.
When it was safe to come back upstairs, they saw all of the damage, insulation, glass, and debris everywhere.
My dad and his brother built the log home that they lived in, and they've been there ever since, and they absolutely love it there. Just a lot of really good memories.
This is where they've spent Thanksgivings and Christmases together for years.
Really sad to see us kind of in that same situation again, rebuilding, so.
It's not the first time Jamie's family has lost a home in a natural disaster.
It brought back a lot of bad memories with that.
The 2013 Colorado floods took the home she grew up in.
Knowing that my family members were okay was everything.
And just like last time, her family banded together quickly to help their grandparents clean up and save what they could.
All of us came out and started just picking up all the debris.
But some of the debris they found were irreplaceable memories, old photos strewn around the house, reminding them that things could have been much worse.
I think that we have a lot to be grateful for.
The Eastern Plains often see more tornado activity than the Front Range, but even in Morgan County, the Dirk family says it's not often you see a home get hit by one, especially with how rural it is out there. The family has a fundraiser to help their grandparents rebuild. You can find that link on 9news.com.
Pretty scary. Courtney, thank you. Now let's head over to Lauren. How are things looking with the rain and the forecast looking towards us next week?
Well, as we go into next week, we do have more afternoon storms, but looking a little closer on the timeline for Mother's Day tomorrow, well, hopefully you've made those Mother's Day plans indoors because it's going to be cloudy, cooler, and we're going to watch for more scattered rain showers. Right now, though, let's go ahead and take a live look outside over downtown Denver. Very gloomy. It's been extremely cloudy all day, and that's been limiting our heating ability. We maxed out at around 60 degrees at DIA, 59 degrees right now. Winds coming in from the north-northeast at around 15 miles per hour. But let's go ahead and take a look at our HD Doppler radar, where we do have those scattered afternoon storms we were anticipating, and just like we thought, they're all focusing on the western half of the state, giving us a nice break here across the Front Range and Eastern Plains. Now, as most of these storms are falling further west, can't rule out a stray storm across the Front Range or a few stray raindrops, but overnight it's just going to be mostly cloudy here in Denver and most of the urban corridor. Overnight lows near 45 degrees. We will continue to watch for those scattered storms off to the west. As we go into the day tomorrow, well, we're going to expect more rain showers for Mother's Day. Hopefully that's what Mom asked for Mother's Day, because we're going to see a cooler start to the week both Sunday and Monday. But as we make our way closer into the middle of the week, those temperatures climbing back up, and with that warming, that means we will see those afternoon pop-up storms. So I'll have all of those details for you just ahead in my full 7-day forecast.
Lauren, thank you. One man is dead after a shooting and then a car crash in Aurora this weekend. It happened around 1 o'clock in the morning in the Center Point neighborhood. Aurora police say an SUV crashed into a 7-Eleven on East Mississippi near South Chambers. When officers got to that crash scene, they found a man outside of a car, and he was dead from what looked like a gunshot wound. Police say they do not have suspect information right now, but if you know anything, they'd like you to call Metro Denver Crime Stoppers. Today, people who have survived all kinds of traumatic injuries gathered to celebrate their survival and each other. Denver Health hosted this to show their support to their past patients in their ongoing healing process. They walked through Great Lawn Park in the Lowry neighborhood. Denver Health says last year they treated more than 3,000 patients at their trauma center. Olivia was a patient 3 years ago after a truck rolled over her hand.
My middle finger is currently like that, and right now they took some skin off my leg to put that skin on top of my hand to do that, and now I just have some few scars. I couldn't even do my hand, close it all the way. Now I can do it all the way.
Not only can she close her hand, but Olivia says after 3 surgeries, she's active, even playing softball. Well, the Lakers beat the Golden State Warriors last night, which means the Nuggets will face the Lakers in round 3 of the Western Conference Finals. Ariel joining us now to talk about what's coming up.
Yeah, and Jenny, this just has Hollywood just written all over it here. And I don't mean just because we're talking about the Lake Show. This is the 2-time, almost 3-time MVP versus the most popular player in the league, LeBron James. I'll get more into LeBron later, but how about who Nikola Jokic will actually be facing? The centers will take center stage for sure, as the Joker will face off with Anthony Davis. Now keep in mind, AD almost didn't play in the last Lakers game because right there, he was treated for a possible concussion. But now he's back, and he made one of the best plays in that game. Watch this swat and how it led to this walk-off triple at the other end. Anthony Davis leads the league in block shots with 3.3 per game. No one else has even 3. He's also averaging a double-double with 21 points per game and more than 14 rebounds through the playoffs. Now, this series will get underway on Tuesday at Ball Arena, followed by Game 2 on Thursday. Then the series will hit Tinseltown on Saturday and Monday.
We ready?
I mean, I'm ready.
Again.
I mean, this is exactly the matchup that we were thinking was going to happen. We were kind of hoping was going to happen just because you want the star-studded matchup.
For sure.
You want to go against the best. Even though they are the 7 seed, they still have the potential to be the best because they have LeBron James, they have AD, they have everybody.
It will be entertaining, for sure. All right, Ariel, thank you. If your mom likes to get up early, and if she doesn't want to sleep in on Mother's Day, here's one idea. How about a sunrise on Pikes Peak?